Hi, this is Alfawzia Nihar from At Home Tuition. Welcome to our session today. The topic that we are going to discuss in our today's video is Venn diagram shading. First, let's see the basic definition of Venn diagram. Venn diagram is nothing but a tool which helps us to visually organize and display the relationship among the sets. Venn diagram typically use overlapping circles to illustrate the logical relationship between two or more sets of items. The circles that are enclosed by a rectangle that can also represent some definition or some characteristic. The sizes of the resulting region in the Venn diagram do not represent the quantities associated with the number of elements within the indicated sets. In regular algebra, we can combine simple operations into more complex statements. For example, we can write an expression which includes both addition and multiplication. 4x plus 7, because we have rules which tells us that when we encounter this expression, we always do the multiplication first and then the addition. Same way in Venn diagrams, we have learned some basic operations, union, intersection, difference and complement. We want to be able to write more complex expressions such as, this is just an example. So we want to be able to draw Venn diagrams of these compound expressions, right? And we want to be able to calculate the result for these compound expressions if we are given the exact contents of each of the sets involved. So let us see how to draw Venn diagram containing two sets and Venn diagram for three sets, order of operations on sets one by one. Before we go any further in our exploration of compound operations on sets, we need to be sure we understand some important points about how to draw a Venn diagram. So let's start with how to draw a Venn diagram containing two sets. When drawing Venn diagrams, we must be careful not to make assumptions about relationships between sets when we don't know anything about the sets themselves. So if we have two sets, there are three possible ways they could be related. Let's call our two sets A and B. First, I'm going to draw a Venn diagram for subset of another set. For example, let B be subset of A. One set is a subset of other. Here, B is a subset of A. Subset means it contains elements of A. It lies within the circle A. Does this make sense to you? So this is how we have to draw the Venn diagram for the subset of other. One set B is the subset of the other set A. It should be drawn within the circle. Are you clear with this one? Now let's see how to draw Venn diagram for two sets that are disjoint. Disjoint means there is nothing in common between these two. So imagine two sets A and B, these two are disjoint. So if that is the case, you have to draw two circles that do not overlap at all. So in a universal set, draw two sets that do not touch at all. So this is called two sets that are disjoint. Hope you are clear with this Venn diagram? Okay. Now let us see how to draw Venn diagrams for two sets that intersect. If two sets are intersecting, it means two circles should have some region in common. It should overlap at particular region. So let's see how to draw that. Draw a universal set and draw two circles which just touch, they overlap. Did you notice that these two circles are overlapping in this region? So this is the intersection region. Okay. When we don't know anything about the sets we are working with, we always draw them as though they overlap. Okay. So now we will shade some areas in different colors for a moment to help us explain why. So I'm going to show you the next diagram. We will be shading the set A in red and set B in blue. This purple shade indicates where both red and blue have been shaded. Okay. This is the region where these two sets overlap, the intersection region. If two sets are disjoint, this picture still works. If we assume that, I'm going to show you one more picture. This same picture will work for that too. If two sets are disjoint, A intersection B is empty. Remember that A intersection B is purple region in the middle where A and B overlap. If this region is empty, then we can say two sets are disjoint. You should also know this point. Okay. If A is contained in B, if A is a subset of B, if you assume A difference B is empty, then A difference B is just the red area of A to the left. It does not include the purple area of A where it intersects with B. So you can also use this picture for this condition if A difference B is empty. These points are extra points for your knowledge. So if you are drawing a Venn diagram in order to solve a problem and you have no idea what the two sets are, please be sure to draw your diagram like this so that the two sets overlap. It is important to understand that we can never assume that an arbitrary set is not empty. Okay. Just because a set takes up space on Venn diagram, it does not mean it necessarily has any elements. For example, if A were actually an empty set in the Venn diagram, then this would mean that this red shaded area and the purple shaded area, where there is also red shading, will both be empty. This means that even though these shaded areas on the diagram take up space, there may be nothing in them. Okay, they are just empty. Okay, now let us move on to Venn diagrams with three sets. In all of the examples we will be looking in this video, we will often be working with 3 or more sets. We can draw a Venn diagram with as many sets in it as we like. In general, Venn diagram for 3 sets would look something like this: 3 circles. It is important to always label your Venn diagram so that there is no confusion in problem solving. Whenever you use a Venn diagram to represent a set, you should put the label which indicates what the shading depicts above or below the Venn diagram. Okay. Before moving into complex operations, first we should know the order of operations on set. Like BODMAS, PEDMAS in algebra, we have some order of operations in Venn diagram shading too. Let us discuss that first. Sometimes we want to combine more than 2 sets and more than one operation to create a more compound expression. But in order to do this, we have to establish some set of rules so that we know in what order to do each operation. Just like with numbers, we use parentheses if we want an operation to be done first. Okay, just like with numbers, we always do anything in parentheses first. If there is more than one set of parentheses, we work from inside out. Okay, and next thing is we do complements first. You always have to start with the operation complement. And then third important order of operation is union, intersection and difference. Operations are all equal in the order. So if we have more than one of these at a time, we have to use parentheses to indicate which of these operations should be done first. Let me show you an example so that it will be clear. Please have a glance over this expression A union B difference C. This does not make any sense because we don't know which operation we should do first. Should we take the union first and then the difference, or should we take the difference first and then the union? So in order to make this clear, we need to either write this as A union B difference C or A union B difference C. Okay, let's look at some examples. Here is an example. Let's do the Venn diagram for this one. We have 3 sets A, B, C. So draw a universal set in a rectangular shape and 3 sets, 3 circles. Now look for the number which is common for all the 3 sets. In all the 3 sets we have 4 as a common number. Am I right? We have 4 as an element for each of the set. So write 4 in the middlemost region where all the 3 circles overlap. Now look for the elements that are common for 2 circles, for 2 sets. For A and B, what are the numbers that are common? In A and B we have 2 and 4. Am I right? Already 4 is written in this region, so 2 is left over. Write that in this region where only the circles A and B overlap. Okay, excluding the C region. For more details about problem solving on Venn diagram, you can refer a previous video. Okay, now let us fill in this common region for B and C. So is there any element common for B and C? So in B and C we have 4 and 6. Already 4 is written, so 6 is left over. Let's write that 6 in this region where only B and C overlap, not A. Exclude the region A. Now let's fill in this overlapping region for A and C, common for these 2 circles. So for A and C we have 4 and 5. So 4 is already mentioned, you have to write 5 in this region. We have completed the overlapping region for all the 3 circles and overlapping region for 2 circles. Now we are left over with the region where the region only for that particular set. Okay. In A we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this circle, we already have 2, 4 and 5. So what are the numbers left over? 1 and 3. So write those numbers in this region where there is no overlapping. In B, we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Already 2, 4, 6 is there. We have to write 8 in this region. Now for C, 4, 5, 6. Already these numbers are written in the overlapping region. So no more number is left over for the region where only C is there. So next, look at the universal set. We have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8. So what are the numbers left over? 7 and 9 are left over. So write those numbers outside the circle. I mean in the universal set. Hope you're clear with all the concepts that we discussed in this video. We can continue the same topic as part 2 in our next video. We will be discussing examples for complex operations with suitable examples. In case if you have any query regarding the topic that we discussed in today's video, kindly let me know. See you in the next video. Have a great time.